All right, hi everyone. Welcome back once again to BrindlewoodBay. This is probably our season finale, mid-season finale. I'm not sure if we're coming back to this one, but this will probably be where we cap this show off for a little while with plans to come back to it. That being said, thank you everyone who has been watching. This has been an interesting long-term game because, you know, like most Powered by the Apocalypse games, it's not really designed to run for very long, but it's been fun doing it, and it's been great having Dougler run it for us. I'm going to bring us over to the rest of the cast, where they have finished up their discussions on how we're going to conclude this long-running murder mystery. Let's see, there we go. Okay, hi everyone.
Hi, Vin.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. We decided to do some last-second talking there, I heard.
Yeah, sorry.
Planning, scheming. That's fine. No worries. Quick character introductions before we get started. Hi, I'm Rin. I'll be playing Pearl Watson. She is the Columbo archetype, and she probably won't die this session? Question mark. Popcorn Shay.
Hi everyone, I'm Shay, or Shay, the Fae Hero on Twitch and Party Wipe Games, and I'm gonna be playing Sapphire Dartings, the biker granny of the group.
And
Popcorn over to wait. Yeah. Chris, sorry, I almost said Dougler. I'm so used to saying Dougler. Popcorn over to Chris.
I am Garnet Willow, future mayor? Question mark? And current person who tried to put together this plan. We will see how this works. And yeah, that's about it for me. Popcorn over to Dougler.
Hi everybody, I am Doug93. I play everyone else from the killer to the innocent to the police to the victims. And it has been quite a while since we last played, so gonna do the recap a little bit different this time.
It's okay.
Normally I ask my players something that they remembered, but you guys can actually ask me a couple questions if you want to jog your memory or are unclear about anything.
Who's the killer?
Yes,
You opened yourself up for it. I'm sorry.
Well, depending on your role, it's probably Jade.
Fair enough.
Where's my money?
Listen, it's. I wrote the check. It's in the mail. It's not my fault.
Yeah, that's what they all say.
Could we have saved poor innocent Heath Hendricks? Or was he destined to die a horrible, grisly rolling pin? Yeah, a rolling pin.
Tragic rolling pin accident.
Exactly. He wasn't actually killed. What obviously happened was he brought a rolling pin in and like did one of those cartoon like slips on the rolling pin.
Oh no. Yeah.
So you think he did a complete somersault and it hit his head on the rolling pin he tripped on?
He slipped on the rolling pin, and it was a Rube Goldberg kind of comedy of errors where just so many things should have killed him but didn't. And then he has a heart attack as he's about to walk away from it.
And he lands on the rolling pin.
Yep, and then lands on the rolling pin mid heart attack.
Yep.
Okay, you guys have any actual questions about the mystery?
No, I think I have a pretty cut and dry idea of who's did it.
I think we all came up to one. So
Okay, then I guess we'll just hop right into her.
absolutely.
So,
You do not get to use phrasing.
Chris, do you want to set the
Yes.
scene? Do we want to let Chris set the scene?
Oh my.
Oh, yeah, if you feel up to it, absolutely.
Okay. So, Garnet Willow has suggested that we decided that Pearl was the one who's going to be the bait.
Mhm.
So, Garnet Willow has suggested that publicly, Pearl say something to the effects of, I'm pretty sure I know who did it, but I just need one last little piece of evidence to know for sure. So that she knows more than the other two of us, so that she's the target. And isn't it so sad that poor Pearl hasn't had anything to eat today? Just no time. And there's a tasty pile of sandwiches over there. And then Pearl gets a little bit distracted, giving someone time to try and slip in and poison them. A figure we are unsure of. And then Pearl goes over, picks up one, takes a bite, and... well... how's that? Sorry. Bit out of practice.
I would say... Trying to think of a little bit of another method. I was kind of thinking, like, we don't really see the figure, and she goes to get the sandwich. And before taking, like, actually swallowing or anything, said killer, like a shadow might be overcast, and she turns around and goes, "It was you," and then it cuts, or something like that. Because ideally,
yes.
you don't want her swallowing the food.
That is true. That's why I ended on Ghost take a bite.
Could I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Absolutely.
I'll be the one to say no. But please do.
Well, the sandwiches could all be wrapped in paper with each person's name on them, and Pearl could just have a second sandwich on her that she swaps out that would have no chance of being poisoned.
Oh, yes. That would make a brilliant amount of sense. After all, our dear Sapphire is producing the sandwiches.
Okay.
I'm certain she can reproduce.
Okay, that's fair. And not to risk eating any of the sandwiches there. Shadowy figure can move off. She takes a bite out of a sandwich double, and little bit of acting. She turns around, acts surprised, as this looming shadow moves forward to ensure that it is done.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, no?
No, I like it. That was an
I like it. Yeah.
an
Sounds
affirmation.
good to me.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, you're okay.
Is it time to make the
And-
roll?
And then it cuts to 3 hours ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Alrighty, you guys can make the roll.
Well, for this part, if you don't mind, I would say I would like a little bit of a scene where we're all kind of sitting around getting ready for the day, and one of us is compiling all the evidence we have, and Sapphire's just like, all right, what information do we have that we need to send to the chief before we do this?
Well, obviously, the exact murder weapon of both would be the most obvious. The heart medication and the rolling pin.
Yes. There's not exactly any guarantee that an overdose of this is going to put down someone without this condition.
True.
So they might come back with both effects of murder. Keep in mind, there is a missing chef's knife as well.
True, but I suspect that the missing chef's knife might have been what frayed that electrical cord.
Not exactly how you want to do it.
True, but if you had you had the knife wrapped correctly, and you were trying to do it without something that would pop back on you, or if it was a last second decision, you need something to cut the cord, even if it's not ideal.
Well, we already know that he was, that Mr. Riviera was poisoned, but just to make sure that we know who the actual killer is. Well, we already know that that Timothy didn't do it. He's way too inebriated to.
Jane still had the best motive.
Definitely. Was it her name that was conspicuously missing from the invite, or was it actually Donna's? It was Donna's, wasn't it?
It can be her name.
Oh. Okay, if it was Jane Leaf's name, that would tie really closely with the cookbook authorized by Jane and Paul, but one of Paul's recipes torn out, especially if that recipe is, say, his most famous one. Doesn't it make sense for a ego such as his to try to be the very best?
Paul was
No one ever was.
to catch them as his test. Anyway, Paul was a piece of work. He was an asshole and a manipulator. However, that's probably plenty to spark ire from Jane, who probably did a lot of work on this cookbook,
And
with a lot of her ideas stolen.
And after all, she has a pair of plane tickets to somewhere very far away, almost suggesting she's not expecting to do any work in the near future.
Considering she has plenty of large purchases made before she departs, it's not surprising she's planning on getting away.
Exactly. Is there anything else?
The text message.
Oh yes, the text message.
Now remember, Scott didn't know who sent that text message,
but claimed it was not him. That would be a perfect way to control someone's movement, correct?
It might have been an attempt to frame someone.
Yes.
Same with Donna Riviera, who was having her affair, but with us snooping around, the killer probably had to act on Heath Hendricks to ensure that he didn't come out and say that he didn't actually send that text message. And Jane was the one closest to Heath and able to pull that little stunt.
True, and I mean, it also could be that Heath was killed to silence a possible accomplice. He did have a very tense off-camera relationship with Paul. Then again, probably not. The footage is missing. Unless that missing footage was on purpose. It suggests otherwise, that Jane went and took it to make sure that nobody could see the truth.
It could be. Paul was gouging the company.
And Timothy's just a guy who has like an anti-motive about this, if anything.
Yeah, that's more of a note underneath Timothy's, because I didn't add that.
Oh, okay, that's just a note. So, how much of that evidence have we explained? Oh, and the Shattered Brittany Award could literally have been because of a previous argument.
Don't forget that very expensive... Where is it? I don't see the expensive flower.
Oh, that's not a clue. That was just on his body.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We never managed to make that into a clue. Although, it's not a clue. If anyone would have really expensive flour, it would probably be the baking judge who has a bunch of recipes, rather than the contestants who, at least some of them, have had monetary issues.
If that
Recently.
Britty award was won by Paul, it's not surprising that it would have any emotional ties to Jane's stolen work.
Yes. So, yes?
Yes. So here's what we'll do, according to what you've told me. I will go sit down a number of sandwiches. Then we'll start spreading the idea that Pearl has an idea of who it is and just needs to cap it off with something. Once that gets around, our killer will likely come to meet us.
Exactly. And then we spring the trap on them. After all, I'm certain we can borrow one of those cameras or twos. We are filming, after all. Garnet may not realize that cell phones have cameras these days.
It's a cell phone. I never trusted those things to begin with.
I'm gonna say, Garnet's cell phone is probably a brick.
It is. It is still a brick. Texting
Barely
is
get
something.
texts.
Exactly. She only has a cell phone because she could no longer get her pager to work.
We can set up the cameras when we put the sandwiches there. Don't eat these ones with our names on it. Fucking waste of food, but whatever. And I'm going to hang nearby just in case.
That makes sense. Should I make it look like the two of us are elsewhere? Or should I
Yes.
I should probably
do that and make sure that you are actually relatively close by. Be sure to send that information and evidence just before we put this together. It won't take long for our
good honorable judge.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it won't take long for the sheriff to get there.
Hey.
Sheriff.
Yep.
Wyman Dalrymple.
Though honestly, I'd rather trust young Cassie's new flame than him. But she's where she needs to be. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so let's count off the clues that you guys used.
Yes.
So
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
I meant say them as we counted them off because you guys explained the Shatter Ready Award. Paul being poisoned. It's in the dangerously frayed electrical cord. The chef's knife.
That the poison was heart medication.
Yeah, which the only people who knew that he took heart medication would be people near him. So
Exactly.
that would include Jane. She wasn't on the Buckingham Palace invite. Paige ripped out of the cookbook that Paul and Jane wrote together. The plane tickets. A pile of receipts showing that she spent a shit ton of money. The text message, which you're saying that was used to have Scott somewhere that she wanted him to be.
Yes.
The rolling pin used in Heath's murder, and the outtake suggesting a tense relationship between Paul and Jane.
Absolutely. Jane Leaf, the murderer, is you.
So that is 13. And the complication of the complexity of the case is 7.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives us 6.
Indeed.
Who would like to do the roll?
Well, I feel like Pearl should, as she's the one in actual danger.
I'm in danger. Remind me what I am rolling, Dougler.
On your character sheet, there should be a theorize move, if I'm not mistaken.
Theorize move. Is there anything
Yep.
that can keep me from dying before we get there? No, none of my...
That's me.
No. I just meant, is there anything I can pull out to... at the last second to help with this? Not literally dying. Theorize. Number of clues found, you said 13?
Yep.
Okay. Submit. Mystery complexity.
7.
7. Submit. Oh, massive success.
17.
17. That's a 5 and a 6, ladies and gentlemen.
You did
Here I
immediately.
was ready with B.A. Barkus. We didn't need any clues. We could have solved this right when it started.
We could have just
Apparently.
could've
shot
pointed
her
a
and
finger.
gone home.
Oh no, he's dead. It was her.
It was her.
Wait, what?
She did it.
Was it her? We rolled an 11. That's why it's her.
Well, shit, everything
Enough.
adds up. It was her. We got her, everyone. Let's go home.
So, it is the correct solution. We have an opportunity to take down the culprit or otherwise save the day. However, oh boy, we're getting a big reveal.
You will get a big reveal.
Next time on...
All right.
So let's take this to the point where So everybody starts to arrive at the shooting location. You'll make your way to the judge's tent. And all the remaining suspects are there. Cassie is still in the hospital being looked over by Beth. And you guys want to tell everyone that Pearl has an idea,
Got an idea.
correct?
I almost
Hey
got
everybody, Pearl has an idea of who the killer might be. I just go room to room. We're meeting here in an hour.
Why am I being fucking put on the spot?
Well, you're the next one to be tried to murder.
Fair.
Exactly.
I was the killer the whole time.
Dun dun
Forgot to
dun.
tell you guys.
Oh no. I really hope the last mystery solution isn't you were the killers all along.
None of this really happened. We're just a couple of senile women in the old home.
Oh no.
So you do make your announcement that Pearl has an idea of who the killer is, but she wants to just be certain. So everyone's going to meet back up in about an hour. As you look for just one last piece of evidence that could help. So, Sapphire, you have your bag of sandwiches. You just kind of put it on a table to the side. You mentioned that you did bring sandwiches for everyone, just for people to eat later. There. And at that point, everyone seems just like talk to you like, what do you think they're gonna say? Like, I don't know. It could be anyone. People just start to mill about now. And you three go to leave the area and wait. The lights on the judge's stand to get turned down a bit low. And after the last person leaves the area, the sound of a door opening in the back just clicks as it swings open as someone starts to sneak through there, covered in shadows. You can't tell who it is. They pick their way around the edges of the tent, making their way to the table where Sapphire left the sandwiches. They take the bag. They just pour out sandwiches, just kind of looking through to find the one that says Pearl. They'll bring a minute. They carefully unwrap it. They take out a little bottle from their pocket and just sprinkle something over it. Wrap it back up. They put the sandwiches back in the bag. They glue the pearls on top. They look around quickly before they scurry back out the way they came in. After, does someone say?
Yes, we know who the killer is. And Pearl will walk over and start taking out sandwiches, and she'll move hers to the side and hand one to each person. One to Buck, one to Melanie, one to Timothy, one to Sue, one to Scott, one to Donna, and to Sapphire, and to Garnet. Am I fucking up names again? Or did I get that right? I did get that right. Okay.
Yep.
Sapphire and Garnet. And then she'll go and pick up her sandwich. And she'll say, "Oh, there is one more thing." She's gonna walk back over and she says, "There's just something I was a bit curious about, Miss Leaf. Your cookbook, there's a lot of good recipes in there about making sandwiches. I looked it over myself, and well, I also noticed that you had a bit of a manuscript where one of your cookbooks forgot to have your name mentioned in it. I don't know why I'm getting the accent in there. She says, but I feel like if I was going to have my name and credit for my incredible cooking abilities, I'd be a bit pissed off too. But what do I know? I'm just an old woman here to eat a sandwich." And Pearl's gonna hold her sandwich out to her. "But you should eat this. But you should eat this one."
You're holding up the one that has your name written on it.
Mm-hmm.
See how it compares.
Yeah. See how?
Do you believe this one is for yours? Or for you, because it has your name on it.
My eyes must be failing me, you're right. But, truthfully, I've eaten garnet sandwiches before. They give me really bad gas. So you can have it. And she holds it out again.
I appreciate that, but I'm quite fine, thank you.
At this point, she's going to gesture to where her sandwich should be, and hopefully Garnet is busy eating it. Well, you don't want to go hungry. You're still a growing woman after all. Holds the sandwich out one more time. You wouldn't be...
Garnet is...
You wouldn't be
Garnet
worried
is
about
indeed...
something. You wouldn't be worried about anything with this sandwich, would you?
Oh.
It's not
No,
like... It's not like you prepared it with a rolling pin or a lot of flour.
I am a chef, so I do quite use flour and rolling pins fairly often.
Yes, I could imagine you probably used them quite often this last weekend. Because you're the killer! I'm just gonna get right to it.
Just waiting for her to pull a weapon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's like, wait, what? It's just like, no. You could have.
Dun, dun, dun.
You could have killed Paul.
She had means, motive, and opportunity.
And click on the
Authentic.
TV, the recordings of her going in and poisoning the sandwich.
And a hunger for it keeps the sandwich very close to her face.
Jane's
I
spinning
think.
away from the sandwich now.
Are you nervous about something? A reason you wouldn't want to eat this sandwich? This would be while we see the footage of her poisoning the sandwich. Why would you be averse to eating a sandwich you didn't poison?
I just to lean back, she just reaches up to push the sandwich away. It's fine. Don't want the sandwich, okay?
Well,
I lost her voice.
maybe they can get you something to eat down at the station. Sheriff?
So this is the quietest you've seen him appear as he walks up out of the shadows behind her. This large, rotund man pulling out his handcuffs. Miss Leaf, you're under arrest for the murder of Paul Rivera and Heath Hendricks.
How could you do it?
So disappointing.
Yeah, Garnet does speak up here. How could you do it? You spent your life as a cook and a judge of cooks. And yet you disrespected both the things that make and the things that help you create your own passion. Why?
She looks around, kind of vividly, like trying to see a spot where she could book it, but another deputy comes up from the other end, walking off that exit, like, the Dragon Baking Show started off quite well. It's a way to elevate the chefs, but with Paul's ego and need to have credit for everything, it sort of became a cage with his popularity. I wanted out. Thought there was a chance when Paul kept making those demands of Heath that the show would buckle. I'd be free to go on and no longer have my work stolen by that buffoon.
No, instead you would decide you would have your work painted by the bitter iron taste of blood.
Well, I have no sympathy for Paul. There is one more thing I'm curious about. Pull the trigger near the freezer.
I don't actually know who shot your friend. I had no issue with the girl.
So you're saying there was another potential murderer on set, and you knew nothing about them?
No, it's the biggest mystery to me as it is to you.
I guess it is. I guess the only difference between that is we actually care.
You feel sorry for the
Mur-
child, which is not my fault.
No, unlike the other two. Well, I guess you know
Chip
now
shrugs
murders.
that.
I guess. Garnet shakes her head.
Then consider this a mercy.
We cut
Because
her
whoever.
off.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bah. Garnet looks livid right now. Ugh. And are the suits there?
The producers, head
Yes.
people,
Yes.
if you want them to, they can be.
We'll take our
Are
first
you
place
happy?
prize now.
Dear, I don't think there's going to be a first place prize or an any place prize.
Oh,
Was
there's
it
definitely going
worth
to be a-
it? Garnet just stares at them. Was it worth it?
All the ratings are going to be insane.
We had no.
Because I just look at them. One man died more because you decided ratings are more important. But I guess that's the type of people you are. I just hope you can live with it.
Darling, they don't have hearts. They.
I'm trying to shame them publicly. Sometimes some of them respect being shamed publicly. Sometimes.
Is that true? Are you all into public shaming?
No?
Garnet's just
I like
pinching her
my
nose
shame.
now.
I like my shame in private, thank you.
In fact, one of them looks at the watch. I have a meeting with Mistress Julia in about 30 minutes. Good day.
Sorry, couldn't help with the jokes.
They don't bloody have a. You don't bloody have a show anymore. One judge dead, the other one's. Ah.
Don't worry, they're
Earl?
going to be losing a lot of money. It's going to hurt them.
Earl.
Hmm?
Let's go. Let's go.
Yes, I would say
Let's go.
this is a case closed. Then she takes a bite out of the sandwich, forgetting that it was poisoned. No, I'm kidding.
You gotta just slaps it out of your mouth like right before you're about to.
No. Yeah, exactly. Let's go.
Let's go check on the two lovebirds. I need something that will make me smile.
All right. Hop in the motorbike.
Into the motorbike we go.
With the double sidecars.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
So the sheriff takes Jane into custody. The rest just kind of mill around and talk to each other for a while. Not sure what to do. Buck and Donna are next to each other and less conspicuous about their affair at this point in time because
Kind of leaked out a little bit.
yeah, I kind of did. Three of you ride down the road towards the hospital. Well, up. Just having the weather's lovely for July. Nice breeze, warm but not sweltering.
And yet Garnet is shaking. I guess sometimes it's not a nice, neat little bow. Someone else took a shot at our girl.
And we'll find out why.
We're not only going to find out why.
Their days are numbered so long as they stay within our city.
You were saying.
I'm going to have to start ignoring you even more when I'm there, aren't I?
You can't ignore us.
No, but I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to hear things like someone's days are numbered. I feel like that's something
What are you, a cop?
narrowly. No, I'll never be a cop, but we are going to clean up this place. So 4 murders in 3 weeks, Jesus.
Almost like there's a conspiracy.
Yes. Almost like there's a conspiracy. Solemn look. Well, if there is one, we're gonna have to stamp it out. Because this is our home. I'm not gonna let any weird magic doohickeys trap us in whatever it was babbling about.
Yeah, fuck that crow.
I was more talking about the weird, this has happened before, which implies cycles, and not the fun cycles.
Sounds like we have something else to look into then. If it's happened before, it should be documented.
Oh, yes, the things we found in the doctor's office.
And the weird things we've been seeing that stop being the weird things that we see.
Well, we might want to have a word with him at some point. But for now, we're at the hospital.
Wow, that was a lot. How many speeding laws did you just break?
What?
It's a small town.
I still give her a side eye because that was really fast.
We've been there. We were talking to... Anyways.
I just figured you guys are outside the hospital and talking. But you guys
Yeah, no, Sorry, I thought we were talking in a motor car.
Take your pills, dear.
Pulls out the little pill and counts. I've taken all my pills. Unless someone's just swapping them again. Little side eye at you two. You haven't been swapping them again, have you?
No, that's incredibly dangerous and irresponsible.
That's true. And we solve problems. We solve this. Okay, let's go. So we're gonna go up and see Cass.
Yeah, so the three of you make your way to Cassie's room. You can hear her and Beth talking. Do you guys just go in? Do you not?
Rap.
Come in. You hear from Cassie.
We're respecting your privacy by knocking, but asserting
Lucky.
our dominance by coming in
Coming in
anyways.
anyway. We enter. How are you feeling?
She looks a little pale, but she is a ginger. And she is sitting upright. Beth's next to her with her hand. And he's like, "Oh, hey guys. I'm doing all right. She just like, it does that pause where you're like, oh, yeah, nope. That hurts. I'm just gonna not move for a moment till it stops hurting. Then
Yes,
just
I know. Garner's just giving the little nod because she feels that sometimes. She's an old woman. She's the oldest of the women. Well, we have good news and we have bad news.
Yeah, what's up? She looks bad.
The good news is we discovered who was the murderer who killed two people.
Oh, who did it?
It was Jane Leaf.
Wait,
Turns out
two
it was
people?
You. Arrest her.
Yes, two people. She killed the producer shortly before we could prove it was her.
Oh, Keith is his name, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, and I hate the fact that I believe this, she said she did not try to kill you. Which means it's a second unknown offender.
On the loose somewhere still.
Oh,
Yes, that is bad. That is very bad. Not gonna lie, I almost wish it was the reverse.
You wish that she was the one that shot me?
No! Well, if she wasn't that shot you, we'd have the one who shot you in jail.
That is
Kathy
more or
just
less.
sucks
Instead
a
of
bit
it
That is more or
being-
less what she was trying to get at. She wishes she could have arrested the one who shot you. They're
Yes,
still at large.
yes, because they shot you.
I see it's
You're
got
one
a
of
nod.
us.
Beth, could you get me some water? A bit parched. Beth looks between the three of you guys and her. You guys like, yep, sure, babe. I'll be back in a moment.
Oh, you're at that stage. It's adorable.
Bill, I spent the night here, so it kind of feels right.
Aw. You go. Thank you. You go on.
Yeah, I'll be right back. So Beth leaves the room. Cassie does kind of miles watches it go, like,
Garnet
So-
does gently kick the door closed when she goes, and puts on a more serious face. So
Nice.
things have also been unusual for us
I
on a
believe
more
so.
personal level.
Okay, so I remembered what happened before I got shot. I didn't want her to worry, so that's why I kind of sent her out.
Okay. Yes.
The person was wearing a robe and a Greek stone mask.
Have you ever seen anyone like this before?
Yes, we have.
I'm asking her if she's seen anyone like this before.
Oh, okay.
In a book? Not really.
What book?
It was a book about. It's an occult book about fragrant sisters. I read it a while ago. With the starts midwives of the fragrant void. It's like
Garnet walks over to
Really?
Cassie and takes one of her hands in both of her old woman hands. Her hand is now clutched in an old woman hand. Cassie? This is gonna sound weird, but magic is real? I look back at you two, like, back me up.
Magic must defeat magic.
Well, either magic is real or we have both had individual and shared hallucinations.
Magic is real, darling.
And
would explain some things.
Garnet confesses everything she personally saw. The strange painting, the time freeze, time freezing, the talking about cycles, and the ritual they performed to protect her. So magic is real. Can you explain some things?
And also the weird raven outside.
It's outside right now.
It comes and goes. When it sees Zach, he seems to be able to scare it away.
Now, important question. Why did they go after you?
Because of us, I think. Because of the poking we asked.
Would that be the only reason, Cass?
Well, I have been. There was that group that was supporting Charles Ace for the poker tournament. I was trying to look at them. Was it the most? Sure.
So it's a mafia cult.
Well, kind of.
I mean, rich people, they get bored. When rich people get bored, they do group things. And the more bored they get, the more disturbing. It's a classic thing.
Is there a raven outside the window?
That was where Pearl was going with that. It's like, it's here right now.
When we actually look out the window.
Roll me is strange.
I'm looking as well because I had asked.
Oh, to give me a strange then.
Yep. Strange.
That be the occult?
Yes,
Oh,
sensitivity.
Cult through sensitivity.
We'll make it a day move
Oh,
sensitivity.
sorry. Okay, day move. Sensitivity.
Mild success.
Miss.
And a miss. Well, there was a mild success in it. Oh.
It's for each of us looking ourselves. We got it.
Darna's not
Yeah,
looking. She's totally focused on Cass right now.
Yeah, Pearl, you go over to the window, just like pull the curtains out further, and do a quick look. There's some feathers. Seems like just floating down. But Sapphire, when you go look out the window, you notice the feathers floating down. You kind of look up to see where. And it's the exact same fucking bird from this morning. The one that bit you when you tried to feed it.
In my head, I just think, I just think, you better not fuck with the people I care about or I will devour you. And I just smile.
The bird kind of looks into your eyes and starts to do the bird head tilt, shifting its either side to one I'll look at you, then the other. Seems kind of stiff in its movements. Before it lets off a caw and just flies away.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
Was that the same one you're having issues with before?
Yeah, that's the same fucker that bit me. You know, best way to eat a raven or crow or whatever the fuck it is, you gotta snap its neck, pluck its feathers, and then make stew out of it. Not enough meat on it for much else.
I guess you need a murder of
Huh.
crows for a pie.
Oh yes, you call that a murder pie.
Cassie's gonna nod. Okay.
I guess it's a bit on the brain at the moment.
Well, keep us informed if that bird keeps bothering you.
Oh, well, it doesn't seem like it actually can come too close.
Well, if it keeps trying, we know a good cat.
The best
Sit
cat.
out underneath the bed.
Bend down, pet the kitty. Best cat.
In many cultures, cats are spiritual guardians.
I will not argue with you there.
I just hope that you're better in time to meet my girls.
Right? Should be out like tomorrow, the day after. They're just gonna have me for bed. Well, I must just be doing bed rest to recover.
Do you need us to run the shop while you're not doing so well?
Yeah, the owner can handle it while I'm recovering.
Okay.
Mind you, do you be kind to him because he's not there very often, so he might make mistakes.
Oh, we will. And we're gonna make sure no one hurts you like this again.
I appreciate that.
Oh, and by the way, the grandkids are excited to see you again.
Oh,
Hmm.
did like the books I suggested last time?
Well, it took a little bit of storytelling to get them interested, but yes, they did.
Great.
Gotta keep them from being glued to a screen.
I think we got some tractor books in that actually make noises, push the buttons for them.
Oh, they would love that.
Oh, we also got the book that's based off the Orangey cartoon with the dogs. They're gonna love those too.
Well, I'm looking forward to having a good old story reading with them. Now, I just have to figure out a nice bit of candy.
Pass over a strawberry candy.
Thank you, dear.
You know. Yes, dear.
Yeah.
How much history of Brindlewood Bay do you know?
Fair amount, I guess.
Has
Why?
there ever been a series of murders like this in the past? Just quick succession, unconnected. Ever. Doesn't have to be while you're alive. Doesn't have to be when we were alive, but ever. Recorded.
He's gonna think I'm gonna bring a pen to her face. In the 70s, there are a couple of murders here.
In quick succession that were unconnected?
I don't know if they're in quick succession, but I know there are some murders in the 70s.
That's the first place to look then.
Yes, we can look, but you make sure to get some rest and recover first and foremost.
Yes.
There's
This one's.
also
Leave this
disease
one.
happening right there too, I think.
Wait, what? Disease?
Yeah, it was like a mini pandemic or something.
That's why you need cats. They ward off disease.
I believe the reason they ward off disease is because rats and bugs were big carriers of disease back in those days. So,
Well, yes,
if the rats and bugs were being murdered by
yes,
cats,
that's the idea.
yeah.
That's how the plague started. People got scared of cats, and so they started shooing away cats, and then, lo and behold, all those disease bearers get all out of hand.
Well then, girls, I think we have to spend a bit of time in the library.
With cats.
I think she should keep the cat with her.
That's fair.
Exactly.
However, cookie cats
I
at
guess
home, I could take them out.
Oh.
That's right, I remembered my bed exists.
We're going to get through this. We're going to make sure that Cassie is fine and that everyone else is fine too. Together. There's steel in Garnet's eyes right now. I don't mean literal steel. She doesn't have sudden knife eye.
Darling, there are knives sticking out of your eye sockets.
Huh, I didn't know it was a
Dagger
ninja.
glare. You're staring daggers.
Well, I believe in the three of you. I know you guys can get to the bottom of this mystery.
Well, thank you, darling.
Thank you very much, but we all believe in you.
Believe in the us that believe in you.
I don't know what they're talking about half the time. But yes, that sounds sweet.
There's a soft knock on the door as Beth comes in with the water.
Well, I guess we should be off. Nice seeing you again, Beth. Take good care of her.
Oh, well, nice. Have you guys stop by? She hands the water. Tess like, oh, thank you.
And when she's all healed up, take really good care of her. And Pearl walks out.
And then as I'm walking out, I look back and I say, wink.
I just give a like.
You're already
Like,
out of
will
the room.
not,
Leave
like,
us alone.
Okay, fair enough.
Let us be crude old ladies.
So
I feel like I need a counterbalance.
You shouldn't have left first.
So
You're sure. That's right. I left first.
So Sapphire Pearl, as you two leave, you just hear Beth say like, "Will you just tell us the fuck?"
Just, yep. But if you're going to fuck, do it properly. Once she's healed and able to take it.
I do not speak for them. They do not speak for me.
You're the mayor. You can't imply such things.
Exactly. Why do
Unless
think
you
I
are going
should
to
be the
have a
mayor?
historical, unless you were going to have a historical moment wherein you have a topless sword fight with someone.
Yeah, that would be a good way to solve political differences.
I mean, true until the other side start hiring like seconds and swapping them in.
Sounds like a bitch to be.
To the library, or
To the library.
to the library.
Not gonna grab Cookie Cat.
Yes, Cookie Cat as well.
So Pearl, you
Cat is permitted.
return home to grab Cookie Cat. You open your front door after unlocking it. If you lock it.
I feel like this is a small and safe enough neighborhood, despite several murders within the last 3 weeks, that it would be one of those unlocked houses.
Garnet locks because she used to live in the city.
There you go.
You come to your living room, and you see on your coffee table on top of some newspapers or a magazine or something, just your cat kind of lie on its back, its front paws stretched out ahead on top of it with its legs stretched up, back legs stretched up behind them. What kind of cat is Cookie Cat?
It is a calico, and it has like the mixture of the colors that make it kind of look like a Neapolitan, because the orange is more of like a strawberry blonde, but it definitely has like the black down one side, the white in the middle, and then orange going down another end, giving that cool calico impression. And so she's just like, yep, he's a friend for your tummy. Picks him up, nuzzles him.
He kind of ragdolls as you pick him up.
That's
Like,
acceptable.
I'm sleepy. No. But when you start to nuzzle him, he just kind of leans forward and bumps his head into yours.
Kind of like that. Looks like ice cream and you want to eat them.
Horrible.
He seems grumpy.
Pet.
Pet. He gets pets and calms down.
He starts to purr slightly.
So yes, Books. Wonderful, wonderful books.
Books are a wonderful
But
thing.
books are not what we're going to look for. We're going to look for the newspaper archives.
You're gonna look for clues.
Okay. So the newspaper archives would actually be in the basement where they have those old like old white machines with the spot where you put your face up to you, and there's like a film you use to look through the old ones.
Yep. Is there any sort of like sorting system here that we could use to find murders most foul?
A murder most foul.
They unfortunately don't have a murders most foul category. Unless you're just
How about just crime? How about crime in general?
They're sorted by year.
Okay, I see
How long
the
ago
problem.
did they say? Was it 7?
In the
70s.
70s.
So we need to
70s
flick.
nuts.
Okay.
So we need to flick through. Oh, for question purposes, is BrindlewoodBay taking place in 2024?
Yes.
Okay. All right. The logical thing to do is go back to the 70s. Let's try 74 first, though.
Thinking something strange like this would be happening
Like,
every 50 years.
They specifically said cycle. Cycle implies a pattern.
Would say every 5 decades would be a pattern.
Exactly.
And we can branch out from there.
Exactly. So
I'll check the early 20s then.
after we make sure that it happened in the 70s, in 74 specifically.
Okay, I will have you guys give me some meddling rolls.
Absolutely. Can I argue that mine in this one would be specifically reasoning? Because I'm using a logical pattern to see if there's a logical pattern?
Sure.
Awesome sauce. No advantage or disadvantage, just meddling with reason.
Are we all rolling or just one?
You can all roll. Whether you want to composure or reason is up to you. Composure is just so you guys don't get distracted and we'll get bored and lose focus. Reason is because you're looking for something specific. Pearl, do you want to roll too?
Yep, I was right there, but I got a mild success.
We got mild, and Sapphire
Great.
got a great success. And you know what? That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know how criminals think.
Mm-hmm.
Shifty eyes, shifty eyes.
Okay, Garnet, you're looking through the 74.
Specifically, yes.
Sapphire, you want to look through the 20s. And Pearl, where are you looking specifically?
I will look to see if there's any outliers to this to further corroborate the 50-year time span. I'll look in like every decade, since we're looking for patterns.
Yes, that makes sense. Because it might be every, 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the more current one was missed.
Okay, we will start with you, Garnet. So, as you do look through the newspapers for 1974, there's not too many like crime pages on there. Most of these stories seem to be focusing on when the disease is kind of sweeping in the bay.
Disease.
You're not really sure. It's not really sure what's causing it, but it appears to be affecting the not the older or the younger people the most. It seems to be affecting people more from like 25 to 45 age range. A lot of them seem to be kind of hallucinating when they are in the worst of it. Not really sure or what, but a lot of the hallucinations seem to be kind of related to each other.
Oh, girls.
What'd you find?
This is very suspicious. This to me feels like a cover-up.
What are they trying to hide?
Hallucinations that are related. Does that sound like an excuse people would use for something about what's been happening to us?
I don't think we've been hallucinating, have we?
No, I don't think we've been hallucinating. But if we were to go to a doctor and say, hey, we all had time freeze and had... Well, I was going to be more specific and say, hey, we had time freeze and a mysterious voice was telling us that the world is in a cycle and we have to break it. I believe they'd be more likely to think it's a shared hallucination.
What is the age range?
Mainly the middle-aged, it seems. Not the young and not... does this correlate more or less with the ages of the murdering that's been happening?
Paul was in his mid-40s. Ace was in his 30s. And Albert would have been in his 50s, 60s-ish.
Oh, no, not the killies, the killers. Jane, the mayor.
No,
yeah.
A lot of those seem to be older because
True.
Allison was pretty close to her husband's age. Jane was in her early 60s-ish, we'll say.
Okay.
Cover up maybe, but could also be, if you wanted to get supernatural now, could also be something comes out to feed on these people's psyche every so often before hibernating again.
Any luck with the 20s?
We'll come back to Sapphire. Because Pearl, as you look through for outliers, there's like the
every decade or so.
Yeah. You do know that there is the occasional murder or disappearance or strange death from illness spread out and very few. But it is still strange.
Well, not much else that really helps here. It's happening, but not under any sort of pattern.
Hmm.
And Sapphire, as you're actually looking through, you find newspaper reports on the death of a very prominent figure to the BrindlewoodBay. They're a descendant of one of the founders. Here's the newspaper reports that wondering if the cult was involved because of how strange it was. And as you kind of go through the year, you see that there is another murder of a prominent member of the community. Nobody could find the killer for that one either. There's a column in there of town folks wondering if the two are connected. Then a little bit later, but less time between the third murder and the second. There's another murder, but this time there's two people who were murdered. Reports that the citizens are starting to worry that there's a serial killer in their community. Weeks later, there's a report of a missing person. There's pleas from the family in the paper if anybody has any idea what happened to them, to tell the police or come to them directly to let them know, so you can hopefully find them. There's a small update on the murders that the police think they have a suspect in mind, but there's no reports on who it is. Then about 3 months after that, there was an earthquake that struck the bay. And despite how violently everything shook, there are only minor injuries reported. There are some structural damages, and a section of the bay had to be abandoned just for sake of safety. But other than that, everyone was fine.
Does it say where the epicenter of the earthquake was?
It seems like the part of the town that had to be abandoned was where the founders' cottages were.
Modern day, where is that at? Is that like the fen, or is it somewhere in the hills, or where exactly?
Dang, map doesn't have it. So it was close to the fen. It's only been further out this way.
Interesting.
So I share all this and say, well, I think I found a pattern. At least in the case of these murders, it was one murder, two murders, one murder. Then, shortly after, someone goes missing, and then there's an earthquake, specifically targeting the founders.
Do you think that no, this is that would be ludicrous.
What, a cult? It's talking about a cult.
Yes, but the murders. Could the murders be an attempt to
Cause a disaster
stop
or
some
stop one?
stop? Could the death be deliberate, an attempt to cause the number of deaths decreased? Like, I guess the magical equivalent of amputating a hand to save a body?
Or it's just a traditional sacrifice to some dark power to appease the...
Yeah, that could be it too.
It's likely that, because, I mean, the mass and the robes and this desire for ritual, it all lines up really well for that.
It does. Too well.
Along with an attempt to try and wrest control of the town.
I guess at least one question.
Which is?
Who's in the cult today?
Dude, I got a really great cliffhanger spot.
Right here, yeah.
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 Pearl is gonna think about it for a moment, sigh, and say, I have a pretty good idea. And then the camera cuts over to Prescott in her cell.
Prescott looks up towards the window and sees the Raven.
The Raven's like, holy fucking shit, that lady's scary.
They brought a fucking cat. I can't do anything with this.
It calls to her and she nods like, it's what I told you about. With that, the scene turns to black. As the credits start to roll, various images of the past episodes start to flicker on the screen. And once they all go through, the words, "We'll return another date to unravel the mystery of BrindlewoodBay." And that's where we'll end.
Yay!
Yay!
What a good closeout.
Oh, absolutely.
Very good.
Spoopy mysteries are spooky.
End of session questions that we didn't do, so I'm just going to use the ones I already had checked.
Right.
Yeah, I guess we didn't do that, did we?
Yeah.
Solve the
Whoops.
mystery.
Yeah, we did not.
Yeah, we solved a mystery.
Yeah, we
That's,
solved the mystery. Kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Share your wisdom with a young person. We recommended they have sex.
Yeah, we did do that.
Yeah, I'll agree. That's what counts.
Yep. Show someone you still got it. Gave that raven the evil eye.
That is true, you did.
Yeah.
Mine is you secretly undermine the authority of a local official. I planned a sting operation without officially,
talking to them about it.
Talking to the I feel like that is a bit undermining enough.
Undermining
Yeah,
enough.
go for it.
Yeah, you didn't consult with them.
Does show someone that you still got it.
Not quite. Didn't quite have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I'm one away.
Did I share a memory of a late family member? Nope, sure didn't. Did I show someone that I've still got it? Yes, I did.
Yeah,
Twice.
sure did.
Twice, in fact, by really psyching out the killer and showing her that I'm not a crazy old woman, and then, of course, implying that our two lovebirds need to fuck responsibly once she's healed up and able to take it. So, yes. The old lesbian gave sound advice. Stretch before you get started.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's us. Thank you, Dougler. What a great game.
Yeah, thank you very much. It
Thanks
was
for having-
wonderful playing
thanks for being my
again.
player.
Yep. So with that being said, in 2 weeks, I will be over on Girls Run the World's Twitch channel, where our good friend Valdrianth is going to be running Girl by Moonlight, and it is actually going to be a game called Vancouver by Moonlight, and it is a fantasy Vancouver magical girl setting where we are solving murder mysteries where the magical girls are being killed by someone and we have to figure out what it is. Fantasy by
Wow.
Moonlight. Yeah.
Wow. That's like hitting so many of my buttons.
Yeah, I will definitely be linking it in the Discord. Yeah, the session 0 we had yesterday was headlined with what's your favorite problematic shoujo, and it's kind of the energy that we decided to be bringing to the table. And of course, I showed off the character that I made, but yeah, I have basically the garbage friend gremlin character that is going to be here and be the entire problem for literally everyone around her. So it's gonna be fun.
I wish I got into that game, but I was sick and I missed the confirmation.
Yeah, Shay actually got through the rounds of screening for it, and then she got really sick and did not confirm with them that she wanted the spot. Yeah, it was like really bad luck, because even I didn't realize that, they were doing 2 rounds of elimination. We both kind of just thought it was like, oh, hey, it's saying you're in, and I had just responded to it going, hey, great, thanks. And then they were like, no, clarifying, there's still one more round. And, I had told Shay, I was like, keep an eye out for another email, for them to say that they picked you through the elimination again. And, they sent me one and she didn't get one, and she went back to check and it was just like, hey, we didn't hear from you, so we're picking someone else. And it's like, oh no.
Well,
yeah, but it happens. She was not in any condition to be looking at her cell phone while she was
oh yeah, absolutely.
In bed all day.
literally dying.
I'm just so glad you're feeling better.
Me too.
Absolutely 110% glad.
Yeah, I would not wish that experience on anyone. It's miserable. I hate being sick so much.
It was real sucky, but that being said, let's wrap up the stream here. So everyone say goodnight and have a wonderful time until we're able to get back to this.
But not